Good morning, YouTube, you sexy, sexy mama jammas. Today is now Monday, August 18th, 8:16 in the a.m. I'm just curious of how much life we got left with these solar panel loads. Not sure yet. But we got one for today. We should have one tomorrow as well because we got to get our trailer back. So we're going to find out. I'm just going ahead and going on duty right now, getting ready to do pre-trip. And I hate doing the pre-trip right now because I actually did a pre-trip yesterday. I went in, I looked at it because, you know, you tend to do pre-trips, you kind of get in your little routine, and sometimes you go not always as thorough as it should be. But yesterday, I went under the hood and I checked out Blue thoroughly. Under the hood and look at the shocks and you know, in between the frame and just going up and down looking at all the U-bolts and the kingpins and the spring the leaf springs and you know, all just went through there thoroughly and just kind of just looked at everything, brake pad thickness, and which is hard to do on this truck, by the way. I'm still not sure if what I saw was a brake pad, because there's like a little flap down there. You should turn the wheel all the way over so you can get some room to get in there, and then you got this like a little flap down there that's, I guess it's supposed to prevent debris from going and getting into your brakes, but I'm not sure what I actually could see or make out was the brake pad. So I'm gonna have to, when I do my next PM, I'm gonna be like, yo, check those things out for me, please, or show me how to do it, you know, I guess the easier way. But yeah, I mean, Blue looks good. Tie rods, all that shit, all the just overall looking at everything, right? So he looks good, but he's dirty. My God, is he muddy, filthy. At the end of the, you know, when you go OTR, you don't get like this. You don't get like this because you ain't going off road. We ain't going to the farm. Oh, and my little sore here, you know, it's healing now. See, you know, someone was like, "Oh, that looks bad. You need to go to the hospital." No, your body heals itself. When it was pointed out, that was at its peak. It was like at its max growth, discoloration. See, he's not too bad right now. He's very, very small, or not even half the size as it once was. Still a little tender, but I'm, you know, popping it, draining, doing what you're supposed to do with things like this. All right, you always got to go to a doctor to see shit. Your body is made and designed to heal itself. I don't go to doctors anyway. Screw doctors. I don't trust a doctor. Doctors kill. I'm not going to finish that statement because that's going to cause a whole hoopla of things, but I don't trust doctors. Never had, never will. But anyhow, I'm going to get out and do my pre-trip officially today. And we should have enough fuel to get up there. And we'll get off at 227 and at that pilot. We'll fuel up once we get up in that area. We're just going to leave it as is till we get past the weigh station. Exactly right. I'm going inside, grab breakfast, and head on over to the warehouse. Thanks for being here, y'all. I really appreciate all the support. I do. I love that shit. Anyway, thanks so much. Let's see what the trucker world has in store for us today, shall we?
Crack a monster, greet the sun. Big Blue's humming, ready to run.
All right, we got the trailer, but they switched it up on us, man. We like. You know, I've told you we've done a trailer rotation here at the warehouse since we started the dropping hook. One day we'll drop our Mercer trailer, pick up their Renton McKinney trailer. Next day we'll drop their McKinney trailer and get our Mercer trailer back. We've been getting the same trailers every day for the last 3 weeks. Today things want to change, so we are going ahead and being proactive. We're pulling up. We arrive at the yard at the same time. We both go in. Usually our dude's out there waiting on us with paperwork. But we was like, oh, he's probably running a little slow. He's busy back there. He'll get to us in a minute. So we went ahead and switched up to our normal trailers. Then he comes out and is like, sorry, boys. Your trailers have been swapped today. Like, what? The paperwork reflects differently. I'm like, okay. Why is it? I don't know. I was like, I mean, they're both going to the same place, and the only difference between loads is the name you written on the BOL by ink versus, well, nothing. He's like, they won't let me change it. I'm like, okay. So we was already fully connected. So we had to drop those trailers and swap around and connect to the corrected trailers this time. So what I just learned is my buddy's Peterbilt is about 9 inches higher than mine. So when he dropped his trailer, which is perfectly fine for him, remember my arm test? The trailer was up to here on me. When I dropped my trailer, or when I had to connect to a trailer, it's right here perfectly for me, right in here. That's a good 8 inches. So we was looking at why. I was like, well, one, I noticed his drive tires are bigger than mine. I can just tell physically they're just bigger than mine. I didn't look at the size per se, but they are. And two, his fifth wheel is about 3 or so inches higher than mine. I was like, well, okay then. So he kind of had a hard time getting under my trailer that I already had connected for my truck. And I had to have him reconnect to his because he had just pulled out, and I went over to do the arm test real quick. I was like, man, go. And I couldn't crank that shit down because that landing gear on this trailer sucks ass versus what I'm used to. So I asked him to reconnect to it so I could lower the landing gear. He did, and had to drop his airbag some, and I got it in the right spot for the height of my truck. So I always hear about how some trailers are just dropped so high, like they're just being assholes or whatever. And you know what? I'm first-hand experienced now that that's not the case. There, even he had his airbags dropped when he dropped that trailer, and it was still that much higher than mine. I was like, bro, are you sure you're still 13.6 with that trailer being so damn high? He said, yeah. It's like, so if that's the case, then I'm freaking technically 13.2. Because that's just crazy. There's that much difference in between a Peterbilt 579 Ultra Loft and my Freightliner Cascadia. Pretty sure it was an Ultra Loft or Epic, whatever. I don't know. It was a nice one. It's a nice one. I don't know. But since I have a new trailer, I'm going to go ahead and get scaled. I'm going to the Loves right here, just a couple blocks from the warehouse. Just because it's new equipment. I haven't been scaling my loads for the past week or so since we got the load issues worked out and the fuel problems, and I knew where the fuel needed to be. But new equipment, I gotta make sure. So we're gonna pull into the Loves here in just a minute and see what we weigh. And on the scale. All right. Weigh my truck. $2013, yep. Confirm. Leave all that there, except the 1475, which is highway robbery. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, if it saves you a $1,000 fine, oh shit, payment failed. Why? Because I got to go wake up the card. Derp derp, derp derp derp. And it's now awake. Let's try this again. Oh, and it's not going to do that. It's going to make me go back and do it all over. I got to go off the scale and do it again. Because it's saying it's busy. Why is it busy? It's because I'm on it and it failed the transaction. All right. Oh, Lord. All right, well, let's try this again, shall we? Let's go back into the Weigh My Truck app. 2013, confirm. Next, accept the fee, bullshit fee. Processing, do not pull off scale. Yep, we okay. Will be anyway. Alright, for all this crap that's going on today, let's go north. Right, y'all, we just got off our exit. We actually went into the pilot real quick. We had to go ahead and get fuel. Went ahead and got our 65 gallons of fuel and 5 gallons of DEF. And the only reason I got 5 gallons of DEF is because there's a little 5 gallons of DEF 3 times or something challenge in the pilot app, and you get bonus points. And you know, I use my points for reserve parking, so yeah. But yeah, we've already got fuel. We're heading back. We're heading to our thing. We're 12 miles away from drop off to the farm, baby. I've been thinking about drive tires. I need to get I need to get bobtail. I'll probably do it this weekend. I want to do a really good look at all the drive tires, you know. Because I got one tire. See, I just looked. My drive tires are the Bridgestone 713s, 295 R75 22.5s. Is that right? Yeah. Those are the same tires all around. Now, I started thinking about tires. One is because I'm 165,000 miles, and I noticed a weird wear on one of the tires. But it's also got me thinking, how big are those damn tires on my boy's Peterbilt? And I'm going to find out once we get out here. I'm going to look at his tires, see how big they are, because this truck came with 2 Goodyear Endurance LHS tires as drive tires, and those are the exact tires that I got when I replaced them at 100,000 miles, right? Remember how that wear was to the right-hand side, and it was like really, really bad? And I went ahead and got a 3-axle alignment then. That was what, March or April or May, somewhere in there? At 100,000 miles or so on the truck. Right now we're at 64,000 miles on these new tires, and I've been checking them. The wear's fine. But I got a funny wear on the front axle driver's side inside tire. So truck tire number 4. All the tread is fine, outer, inner, all that, but the inside of it is wearing like very, very lower than the rest. And that's the one that like stands out at me. Like I said, I'm gonna have to make sure I bobtail, pull out from under the trailer one night or even the weekend, and just inspect them closely, because I'm starting to think about drive tires. And most people say, yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about it until about 250,000 miles or so. There's some people saying 300,000 they've got out of them, but there's a lot of variables when it comes to tire life, and we all know that. And I've been hauling a lot of heavy here lately, past few weeks. So at least heavy for 200 miles a day, and empty on the way back. But that still decreases the life of the tire, right? So I'm starting to think about tires, and I know Mercer's got some decent discounts. There's a whole list of tire brands and sizes and what their cost is. I even went into the Mercer owner-operator group, and a lot of people seem to love the Yokohama 16 ply as a specific model. And I looked for that model on the Mercer tire list, because the tire list has got all the brands and the sizes and the prices that are offered or discounted through Mercer currently, and they update those prices as they get updated themselves. So, and right now there's a lot of lists. There's like a bunch of letters, states in red that are currently no state sales tax, tire tax, or what? No state tax or something on them. But I was looking at the Yokohamas, and it was in the 400s. I don't remember the exact number, maybe 450, even lower than 450 probably. But what I'm thinking is, when I got these 2 drive tires from Southern Tire Mart on the Schneider National Discount. Now, retail, they were like, what was it, $2,600, $2,500, right? I think I told y'all that. That's what they was going to charge normally, $1,200 a piece. But after the Schneider discount was applied, I wound up paying like just under $1,200 total. It was like $450 per tire, then plus the mounting fee, the air stem fee, and balancing, all that shit they do, whatever the extra fees they did. But I wound up paying right at $1,200 for both steer tires. So I'm thinking, if the Schneider National discount, if I can get a steer tire for $450, the drive tire should be cheaper, right? Per tire anyway. So maybe 3 or 4, maybe less than $400. I don't know. This is my mind working thinking this. Let me know if that's right or wrong. But I feel like I'm trying to get a hold of SFI. I tried calling them. I don't know what it is. I never really have a problem getting a hold of them, but I never really try to call this early in the day. Right now it's 1 o'clock. So maybe that's why I wasn't answering. I got tired of holding, like it's 6 minutes of ringing or listening to that damn music. I just shut it off. I want to call SFI and see, because I remember last time when I was getting these tires, I had to call them. They were looking at what the cost should be. So they have a tool or something on their side that can pretty much give me an idea how much tires should cost or will cost through the Schneider National account. So of course, if it winds up being a better deal, then I'll go that route. But if it's not if it's the same deal, I'll just use the Mercer deal, because you know how that went last time. I didn't know how much my final total was until it went through the national account processing crap on the back end. So I didn't know how much I was paying for about 3 weeks until it hit my MMA account. Then I got a total breakdown on the receipt. So if it winds up being, if their ballpark winds up being anything close to what the Mercer list is already showing, I'll probably just use the Mercer discount. That way I know how much is coming out at that point in time, and I have it without, I don't know. I guess it don't really matter. I have an MMA account for this reason. Now, I'm not saying I need drive tires yet, but I just feel like at 165,000 miles, it's something that's probably going to be my next, I hope that's all, don't get me wrong, that's probably going to wind up being what my next big charge is going to be. Now, some of you say, I don't want to buy just one or even two. If I'm going to buy, it's like I feel like I want to buy them all at the same time. That way they're always even. But that's going to be, I say it's going to be at least $3,500 for a whole set of drive tires. But again, that's why you have an MMA account. But there's arguments saying don't spend money unless you got to spend money. But I also feel like, like on drive tires, you don't replace one drive tire without replacing them both. Unless it's been a very, very recent thing to where you just got new steer tires rather, where you just got two new ones and like maybe 3 weeks later you run over a nail and you flatten it. Then in that case where you've got maybe a couple thousand miles on it, that's not a big deal. But you don't ever put a brand new steer tire on with a used steer tire. You just don't do it. Personal vehicle, big truck, whatever. That's always been my theory, my way of thinking with my personal cars. If you replace one, you replace both on steers. Now, the way I'm feeling out here in the truck is to have the normal wear anyway. I would say if you're not going to replace all 8, I would say replace 4. The first 4 you replace would be when you put them on the drive axle, and then when you go to then when you go to purchase the next 4, you would rotate those current 4 off the drive axle to your front axle, and then put the brand new ones back on your rear drive axle. And the reason I say that is because the rear drive axle is the one that's powered all the time. The front one is not, only if you have to lock your differential. If you didn't know that. I know most of you out there do, but there's a lot of people out here that are still learning trucking. Out of the 8 tires on the rear, out of the 2 axles on the rear of the tractor, only the rear ones have power to them all the time. Just in case you did not know that. But yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on drive tires? Brand, and the price. How much life do you get out of them? And my buy 4 instead of just 1 or 2 mindset. Your whole thought process on tires, I'd appreciate it. Just looking for feedback. Everybody's got a different way of thinking, a different reasoning behind what they're doing and why they're doing it, and I gather all that feedback. I always have from you guys. And a lot of you that comment, I know you're actually in the industry, you're in the business, you're actually doing it, but also there's some people that are like, well, maybe why don't you look at it this way? So perspectives, right? Just curious. We're now 7 miles from our turn to the farm. Hopefully we'll get there. We don't have a big line. Sun's shining. They shouldn't be backed up too much. It's 1:21 right now. We're ATA to be there around 1:40. So we're good. Let's just hope the rest of the day goes as smooth as it has so far.
Crack a monster, greet the sun. Big blues humming, ready to run. No stacks, no shine, just steady and true. Rolling proud in that deep blue hue. Daylight miles, the highway calls. I was born to chase it all. Sunrise and steel, that's how I ride. Rolling strong with the morning sky. From the hills to the county lines, chasing white lines in the daylight shine. Big blue hums and the world feels right. I was made for driving in the light. 2024 built to last. Smooth and clean, he's built for fast. Hands on the wheel, I hold it tight. No scars, just skill, it's a driver's right. Hammer down, let the engine sing. Hear that road beneath me ring. Sunrise and steel, that's how I ride. Rolling strong with the morning sky. From the hills to the county lines, chasing white lines in the daylight shine. Big blue homes and the world feels right. I was made for driving in the light.
Yep, buddy, do your thing here. You and your little twila. You and your little twila. Oh, I see my little buddy over there.
2024 built to last. Smooth and clean, he's built for fast. Hands on the wheel, I hold it tight. No scars, just skill, it's a driver's right. Hammer down, let the engine sing. Hear that road beneath me ring. Sunrise and steel, that's how I ride. Rolling strong with the morning sky. From the hills to the county lines, chasing white lines in the daylight shine. Big blue hums and the world feels right. I was made for driving in the light. Sunrise and steel, that's my life. No shadow roads, just the sun and this heavy load. Every mile is fresh and new, me and Big Blue pushing through. Sunrise and steel, that's my life. That's my life.
A cinematic guitar solo, engine hum fades under open blue sky.
I lied to you. I've been back here twice. First time I was back here is when my tandems were set all the way to the back, and my rear axles went through a ditch. So it was just so damn tight around here. Second time I was here was that when I went to that new bridge. I don't know if I never recorded the bridge part. I don't know if I recorded the up or not, but now we're here. We're looks like they're staging my buddy over there, and I think this is where I stay, and if that's the case, I need to get a little further to the edge. Alright, so we got on site at right 135, 140, something like that, and it's now 3:45, so we unloaded for about 5 minutes now. I had to close out my assignment and take pictures and all that good stuff. We're leaving the site, so a couple hours. Normal timing. I mean, it could have been quicker if all three of us didn't have to wait for the same spot to get unloaded, and I was third in line, but you know what? Overall, they unloaded us quickly back there. They said they only had 7 trucks coming today, and we were the first 3. And I pulled in like right behind them by just a couple minutes. So, overall, GG. Good day. Oh, you know I've been talking about Borderlands 4, right? Because it comes out in a couple more weeks. I wound up downloading Borderlands 3 yesterday, just so I can kind of get back into playing Borderlands. And the more I play through it, the more I think I've realized I don't think I've ever actually played Borderlands 3. All the memories that I have of Borderlands are from Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, because this campaign, I have nothing familiar from it at all. Like hell, even going back to the mainland, Pandora, that was 2 fast travels. You had to go to the fast travel station. But not in 3, you can do it from your freaking dash. I'm like, holy crap, for your menu. So the buddy came on last night and we was talking. I'm like, I think I'm just a freaking poser, because I've been talking about how I love Borderlands, and I don't think I ever played Borderlands 3. Like, what the hell? What is wrong with me? Well, I know I played some of it, because when I started that character, when I launched the game last night, I continued the game, and it was a level 5 character. So at some point I did play, but apparently not as much as I thought. Every memory I have of Borderlands is from Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, not Borderlands 3 at all. So whatever, I'm a poser. But we're playing through it now. The whole point of it, playing through it, was to get me back to familiar playing Borderlands, because Borderlands 4 comes out. There's going to be a lot of gaming going on in Borderlands. I'm going to have a lot of hours in Borderlands 4, I think. I'm hoping. We'll see. Anyhow. Alright, let's get down to mile marker 64 off of I-45 to our, remember, that's the Flying J in Houston versus the one in New Caney. So, that's where we're going to stop during the week, and then on the weekends we go home. Alright, let's go. Alright, y'all, we have just arrived at the Flying J in Houston, 25 miles from the warehouse. Came through some thunderstorms a little bit ago. Pretty severe. It's going to be supposed to be severe here in a couple hours, about 8, 9 o'clock. So So we'll go ahead and call it a day. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. It was a nice, smooth day. Wasn't bad, wasn't horrible. It was hot on the farm, but it's Texas and it's August, so of course it's gonna be hot. I'm gonna edit the video and I'm gonna shut down my night. So you know the routine. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate all the support. It means so much. Y'all have a great night. And when you lay your head down tonight, be sure to tell yourself, country loves you. That's a fact. You know I do. Have a good night.